Awujale of Ijebuland receives Emir of Kano, assures bilateral relationship as Southern Nigerian Traditional Council meets on peace and development. 1 year of President Tinubu's administration, Minister of Information and National Orientation address press. Good evening and welcome to NTA Ijebu News at 7. My name is Temidayo Famoyegun. The Awujale and paramount ruler of Ijebuland, Oba Dr. Sikiru Kayode Adetono, says traditional institutions in Nigeria will continue to be a link between the government and the people for the unity of the country. This was as he received in audience the 15th Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, at his residence in Ijebu. Anthony Gandono has the details.
The Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, with his entourage were on arrival received at the residence of Awujale. While speaking, the Emir described Awujale as a father figure based on the relationship he had with his late father. He highlighted, among other things, cementing the existing bilateral tie between Kano Emirates and the Ijebu Kingdom, building on trade and investment relationship between Kano Emirates and the Ijebu Kingdom.
We need elders like him who will always guide us. The younger, maybe I'm not young, but compared to him, I would still say the younger generation. We have a lot to learn from him.
He also added that his visit was also to congratulate Oba Adetono on his recent 2-in-1 celebration as he marked his 90th birthday and 64 years on the throne, as well as receive the monarch's blessings. The state governor, Dr. Abiodun, represented by the State Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, and the Onige Geara of Ijebuland, while speaking on behalf of the state government and Awujale of Ijebuland, said the visit has confirmed the cordial relationship between the two kingdoms.
As the governor of the state, I am proud to know that this visit will strengthen the existing bond between our various ethnic groups, while it will also foster greater understanding, cultural exchange, and mutual respect amongst our people.
We see it as a handshake across the Niger, and it is believed that it's going to actually increase our relationship positively.
The Awujale, who went down the memory lane, promised to build on the existing relationship of the two kingdoms to increase the trade and investment of the people for further growth in the country's gross domestic products, GDP. In Ijebu, Anthony Gandono, NTA News.
The Southern Traditional Council of Nigeria says the institution will continue to render useful advisories that will assist in strengthening bridges of peace and improve the economic well-being of Nigerians. This came to the fore when the Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi, led a delegation to the Progressive Governors Forum. Correspondent Abubakar Akwanga reports.
It was a lengthy hour of deliberation held behind closed doors, after which the Southern Council of Chiefs addresses the media on a wide range of issues bordering on security, economy, politics, infrastructure, and unity of the region and the country at large. The Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi, led other Southern monarchs on the current state of affairs in the region and Nigeria, and urged citizens to keep faith with the nation for peace, social justice, and economic transformation.
What we believe is we should take Nigeria beyond any political difference, beyond any religious difference, beyond any cultural diversity. Our unity is much paramount to us.
Chairman Progressive Governors Forum and leader of the Southeast Governors Forum, Hope Uzodinma, appreciates the royal fathers, describing their roles as critical in nation building, and urged them to sustain support and be united against saboteurs of government policies.
I commend your belief in the unity of the country. Because if the country is not united, there will be no country. And there's no how there will be peace and stability in Nigeria if the traditional rulers are not part and parcel of the process.
Some of the traditional leaders commended the initiative.
We are the 6th largest producer of oil in the world, 4th largest producer of gas. And I believe we will come together with the human capital that is invested in this country. Heaven is the beginning, sky is not the limit.
And by God's grace, the southern traditional rulers will stand up to the job. We'll do what we've always done, which is to stand for our people and to talk on behalf of our people. But now we're going to do it more collectively.
The Southern Council of Chiefs says until the traditional institution is given its place of pride, government at the grassroots will continue to experience multifaceted challenges, hence the need to assign them constitutional responsibilities. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
The House of Representatives says enhancing effective oversight of national security and intelligence sector in Nigeria requires specialized training with advanced communication technology, as well as multifaceted approach in achieving a safe and secure nation. This was the focus of an interagency workshop convened by the House of Representatives Committee on National Security and Intelligence. National Assembly correspondent Joshua Ogunjide reports.
Discussion here is timely and pertinent in addressing security issues affecting the nation. Stakeholders highlighted funding, lack of transparency and expertise as principal threats to national security alongside the economy.
Certainly this workshop would not have come at a better time, considering the current drive by Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief to set the nation on a renewed progressive trajectory.
To strive to strengthen our nation's security and intelligence apparatus, let it be known that we recognize the crucial role that effective legislative oversight plays in ensuring accountability, transparency, and good governance.
I humbly request the Honourable Speaker to consider expediting, and Honourable Members as well, expediting the passage of the Money Laundering Prevention Amendment Bill and the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Bill, which will provide additional measures to ensure that terrorists, money launderers, and other criminals cannot exploit our financial system.
The kind of assignment we are doing now is one of the ways in enhancing expertise, capacity, and giving information to people who need them.
Declaring the workshop open, Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, represented by the Deputy Majority Leader, maintained that effective oversight is fundamental in building accountability and trust in the security sector.
Effective legislative oversight of the national security and intelligence sector requires a concerted effort to bridge the gap, technical competence among legislators, understand the intricacies of security agency operations, address existing challenges through proactive measures, and seize opportunities to strengthen oversight mechanisms for safeguarding national interest.
In the coming days, the committee was ready to its mandate of oversighting all matters related to any organization or agency established by law for ensuring the security of the Federation.
The dialogue further deliberated on organized crimes, drugs, proliferation of light weapons, smuggling, cybersecurity threats, and terrorism financing. In Abuja, Joshua Ogunjide, NTA News.
The House Committee on Public Procurement has invited the Accountant General of the Federation to provide clarification on payments made to contractors handling projects in the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Developments.
Disbursements to pseudo contractors in the ministry in recent years.
It is incumbent upon the committee in charge of procurement to come to their rescue by asking the ministry to reverse the 510 million from the wrong accounts that the money were paid to.
I can't even allow any misappropriation. But unfortunate thing is that Ministry of Women Affairs has been like blacklisted. Even UN blacklisted us before I came. paper for them this year. They said they blacklisted them because of the way and manner they were behaving before.
The committee requested the permanent secretary of the ministry and other relevant directors.
After the Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Uju Kennedy Ohaneye, appeared before the committee to respond to allegations of financial disbursement to pseudo-contractors in the ministry in recent years. The committee requested a permanent secretary of the ministry and other relevant directors with institutional knowledge to accompany the minister at the next hearing. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the appointment of Assistant Corps Marshal Mohammed Shehu as the Corps Marshal Chief Executive Officer of the Federal Road Safety Commission, FRSC. In a statement by Director, Information and Public Relations, Segun Umoyisen, Office of Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the appointment is for an initial period of 4 years with effect from 20th May 2024 in accordance with the relevant provision of the Act establishing the Commission. President Tinubu tasked the appointee to bring the wealth of experience to bear in his new assignment. The Federal Road Safety Corps is conducting an intensive capacity building program for its personnel. This is said to be part of efforts towards enhancing staff proficiency in public speaking and strategic communication. Oyeyemi Ajayi has the details.
When one hears about the Federal Road Safety Corps, what comes to mind is the road management being its primary responsibility. The task goes beyond this. It requires proficient and efficient communication between the Corps and the public. Consequently, this mastery class training for the FRC officials on public speaking and strategic communication has become imperative.
There are various interpretations when it comes to communication. It's not just about verbal communication. It could be oral, it could be written, it could be non-verbal cues.
Corps Marshal Dauda Bill, represented by the Deputy Corps Marshal Training Department, Bisi Kazim, believes that the training will make the officers more competent and confident communicators.
Effective communication and expressing ourselves is also about listening actively, understanding different perspectives, and building strong connections with those around us.
The officers were exposed to various aspects of media relations, strategic communication planning, digital communication and social media management, crisis communication, interpersonal communication including verbal and non-verbal cues, active listening, empathy and assertiveness. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
We'll be back shortly. Please stay tuned.
Where is Glory? Excuse me, ma'am.
Hello? Where Glow now?
Are they here?
Glow don't go village. Tell all our customer abi.
Everybody pay attention. See, now Glow berekete 10x. Now him I they take tension my customers. Now they dash me 10 times the credits when I load. Or even summer me double data join.
Yeah. Wait, so with 1 5 when they give all of us, so you they enjoy up to
15,000 naira credit and data. And I say I never finish you. See, when I say if you enjoy, if you not join Glow berekete 10x, when I go get 1,000 naira welcome credit. You just carry your phone, dial *777#. Finish.
Glow, you don't win.
Una see they here. Hello, please, I'm looking for Glow. Please save now Glow be dey fine. Now Glow be dey go. Okay, so
enjoy 10 times the value of your recharge on Glow Berekete 10X. You also get 1,000 naira for calls and data and double data bonus on your subscription.
Welcome back. Similarly, the ministerial briefing is another platform for ministers to give accounts of stewardship of their activities within the past 1 year. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, encouraged Nigerians to use your opportunity to interrogate the 8-point renewed hope agenda. Saliu Guanera reports.
Press Center is already wearing a new look as the media, particularly the Nigerian Television Authority, is set to broadcast the ministerial press briefings.
Tomorrow,
Minister of Information and National Orientation preach sanity in the business of information dissemination for national cohesion.
Consistent again with the general principle and the policy of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the anniversary, that the 1-year anniversary holding is going to be one that is low-keyed, and that is why emphasis is going to be placed only on sectoral briefings. There will be no ceremonies heralding the 1 year in office of the President.
He guaranteed press freedom under the administration of President Bola Tinubu.
I want to plead with you to please do your job as much as you should do, but have a deep sense of patriotism, responsibility, and honesty in the discharge of your duties.
The ministerial press briefing is expected to commence on Thursday, 23rd May 2024. In Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
The First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu says it is time for women in politics to initiate more positive ways for gainful economic engagements and establish business outlets that will empower them beyond the limits of politics. The First Lady, ably represented by the wife of the Vice President Nana Kassim Shettima, says this during the symbolic presentation of fabrics in the commercial quantities to women. Political correspondent Abubakar Akwanga reports.
Politics has always been seen by some persons in the circle as a platform for self-empowerment, a narrative that has made most businesses to crash. This is now reawakening the consciousness of most women, with the chief pilot of the Renewed Hope Initiative and the First Lady of Nigeria taking the bull by the horn to reinvent the wheel of economic diversity. And to match words with actions, the First Lady flagged off presentation of fabrics in commercial quantities to women in politics at the National Secretariat of the Governing All Progressives Congress to empower and make them positive contributors to national wealth.
The Renewed Hope Initiative program is a testament to the First Lady's steadfast belief in empowering women and fostering inclusive economic growth.
Without any flattering her, within the 1 year, I believe she has crossed the 36th state of the Federation through her PEG project. She is passionate and she's someone who is truly eager to see things change in this country and for better.
This lady and the second lady, they have done their own. What remains is for you to be honest. It's for you to be transparent. It's for you to be committed. It's for you to be nationalistic.
The symbolic flag-off was done under the watch of the National Working Committee of the party and 36 state women leaders of the APC, with a particular drive to reach out to more women across the country. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
And here ends the news tonight. Good night.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Glow! Where Glow now?
I dare here.
Glow don't go village. Tell all our customer abi.
Everybody pay attention. See, now Glow berekete 10x. Now him I they take tension my customers. Now they dash me 10 times the credits when I load. Or even summer me double data join.
Yeah. Wait, so with 1.5 when they give all of us, so you they enjoy up to
15,000 naira credit and data. And I say I never finish you. See, when I say if we enjoy, if we not join Glow berekete 10x, when I go get 1,000 naira welcome credits. You just carry your phone, dial *777#. Finish.
Glow, you don't win. Una see they here. Hello, please, I'm looking for Glow. Please save now Glow be dey fine. Now Glow be dey go. Okay, so
enjoy 10 times the value of your recharge on Glow Berekete 10X. You also get 1,000 naira for calls and data and double data bonus on your subscription.